Welcome to the longest running, the original, the only trilingual Filipino-Chinese lifestyle magazine show, Chinatown TV. I'm your host, Candice Dan. 您现在收看的是非洲电视台。We are here today at a charming and heartwarming cafe that doesn't just serve desserts, but delivers love beautifully crafted in every bite. Aegyo Cafe. In this episode, we will get to know the story behind Aegyo Cafe, how they started, and what makes their Korean style cake so meaningful and special. And yes, something exciting is coming up because I will be tasting some of the dishes that you can find anywhere else in the metro. So stick around as we take you on a sweet and exciting journey right here at Aegyo Cafe. Let's go! From a small, heartfelt gesture to a full-blown cake sensation, our next guest is the creative mind and passionate heart behind Aegyo Cakes. What started as a simple homemade treat has grown into a beloved brand known for its Korean minimalist cakes that deliver not just sweetness, but also love, stories, and personality in every box. Let us get to know the woman and the brainchild behind the magic, Colleen. Hi! 안녕하세요. Fun fact, me and Colleen were actually friends. Like, we were co-hosts in Cosmo Camp Crew. So time flies, right? So Colleen, first of all, just want to congratulate you for having such an amazing cafe. I mean, we don't see this around the Philippines, right? This Korean traditional cafe.
So my original idea.
Yeah, it is your original idea. And back in June 2020, there was nothing, right? Like, we were all in the pandemic, and then everybody's like, I think, getting their creative juices out. But it's just so cool that you guys have this concept. Like, I mean, that you thought about it. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, so I think it's a mix of a lot of fear during the pandemic and, of course, entrepreneurial instinct.
Yeah.
We don't like, as Chinese, we don't like getting bored.
Yeah.
We like earning money. What happened was we were celebrating the birthday of my Nino, which is actually our neighbor. And we felt unfair that we couldn't celebrate the birthday even if we were just walls apart. So we made him a cake, and then we thought, my sister's very artsy, and I like making food for my family. So we thought, why not we bake cakes for other families so that they can celebrate their milestones even if they're walls apart.
Yeah.
So that's actually where it was born.
And I also have a feeling, like, during the pandemic, people started sending each other cakes.
Yeah.
I feel like it is because of you guys. Like, even I don't even like send cakes, but because during the pandemic, I was like, oh my god, like, Colleen had this one, and I felt like sending cakes to show your love and positivity, right? Amidst all that chaos that time.
That's a fun fact as well. Candice is one of our first clients. So she actually sent cakes for her people.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I did.
Uncles.
Yeah. Because I really love the concept, like, of your cake. Like, what made you think about those Korean minimalist cakes?
I think we had a feeling that it might click with the market since the Filipinos, they like Korean culture. So we know a lot about the niche because we're one of the first K-pop fans here in the Philippines. So I feel like we can call ourselves K-pop fan dinosaurs, if you may. So we had a feeling that it might click. That's why we chose Korean minimalist cakes. But ultimately, we like it to be customizable because of the love behind it. Like, for example, if you thought about your uncle, how he likes mahjong, so you put love into the cake design.
Yeah,
there's thought behind it.
Exactly, and lots of personality to the cake, right?
So
it's like sending your love message that you can eat.
Yeah, exactly. Our brand core is that every Aegyo cake should be a love letter.
And when you guys started Aegyo Cakes, and then now we have the Aegyo Cafe. Can you tell us more about Aegyo Cafe? I mean, like the concept of the store. I mean, up until the menu, the design, everything's just so special and very unique. Can you tell us more about that?
So I think Aegyo Cakes, the purpose of the brand is to bring the experience of Seoul into Manila. So back in the pandemic, the purpose was to send cakes, to send Korean minimalist cakes to your friends. But then in the new normal, we wanted to have the experience of Seoul here in Manila. So the cafe hopping culture. So that's how the idea was born. But also, I think in the business side of it, we felt the decline in the sales because Aegyo Cakes was purely online.
Yeah.
So when the world was opening up, we felt like the instinct that we have to be on the ground.
Yeah.
So since we had a lot of brand equity already, like a lot of people knew about Aegyo Cakes, we said it would be going to waste if we just let it die without
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we decided be on the ground.
And I don't know if you've noticed, like lately there are a lot of, like in Chinese, it's called taka. It's like a bucket list that people, every time you go somewhere, you need to do like taka. So I feel like this cafe is kind of like a 网络打卡, like an internet bucket list. Like we have to go here, it's like one of the bucket lists, and then you have to like, it's like a checklist that you have to visit. Like if you come to QC, especially here in Scout area, you need to visit this cafe.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That was the vision.
Exactly
we wanted to get a tourist spot so that you don't have to go and get a visa to go to Korea. So just bring the experience here.
And then a while ago, we were checking out your menu, and then I could see that some of it is very unique. Can you tell us some of your dishes? Maybe just one that you really love. Yeah.
Of course, I would say the goguma latte. So that's something that we thoroughly enjoyed when we visited Seoul. So tikka is a very similar flavor, or like a familiar flavor for Filipinos, but never in a latte. So when we got that there, we said, why not bring it to the Philippines? And we use actual Korean sweet potatoes, so you can feel the bits.
Okay.
So I think that one was
very special
for me. That's the most Aegyo in the menu. So must try.
Yes, definitely later. Right? Oh yeah, and then whenever I scroll through your Aegyo page, there's always like a lot of these fandom, like right? Like sometimes you do with Harry Potter, SpongeBob, Friends, or BTS, right? How does that work? Like what kind of a partnership you have with all those fandoms?
I think it's more of like fan art, if we may, like because we have that because of like if you know something in business like moment marketing, like McDonald's, if it's something like New Jeans, they have a partnership. So it's kind of like that moment marketing.
Marketing.
For example, it's Harry Potter's birthday last July 31. So we did a birthday party here in the Aegyo Cafe for Harry Potter. So it's something like that. And during the pandemic, of course, we think of creative ways to sell more. So we banked on those opportunities to do moment marketing. For example, there was a Friends reunion. Do you remember? We sold 100 cakes of the Friends, the picture frame, or just like the Friends logo.
Okay.
In just 10 minutes. So
wow, like people bought it because they wanted to celebrate it as well.
So it's more of like you know your market so well, and you know what things they actually like, what they love, and I think that boils down to that. So listening to your market.
That's amazing.
So that's how we choose the fandoms. So for example, the SpongeBob, you wouldn't know that there's a lot of people, but it's the most sold cake design that we have.
SpongeBob?
Yeah, the SpongeBob. Because of the meme, like
oh my god, I think it's for us, no? Not like those Gen Zs. SpongeBob!
Definitely our market's more like Gen Z, millennial.
You have your customization of cakes, you got your cafe, but I know that Aegyo is now also allowing you to design and make your own cake. So can you tell us more about that?
I think a lot of people are romanticizing making art, if that's
that makes sense.
Like, for example, if you have a long week of working hard. You just want to have like an outlet for your creativity, you know, just something out of the normal corporate job. So I think a lot of people want that activity. Remember when you were kids and you just join an art school or an art class, something like that, very nostalgic playtime. So I think Aegyo dabbles in a lot of making your inner child happy, and that's exactly what the cake painting is for. So I think it's more for adults because the cake painting is hard.
And it's therapeutic. I mean, baking is therapeutic.
But it's also quite complicated. So I think kids, when we have experience of them decorating the cakes, they eat the buttercream and they devour the cake there. Like, it's not a cake eating class. So it's more of the adults just having their creative outlet.
And I think it's a very good like a hobby as well. Maybe for dates or for a girls hangout.
And it makes more meaningful gift because you actually made the cake yourself this time.
And speaking of cake, we've been mentioning so much cake and I'm getting really hungry. And I'm so excited to the dishes that you will be introducing to me.
So for today, I will be introducing a lot of highlights of our menu. So the cute stuff, and then of course the best sellers. So for the food, I'll be showing you the pink burger because of course the cafe is very pink.
Exciting!
And then we'll be having the doshira, the lunch box. So that one is very popular in Seoul.
So
bringing Seoul here. We try that as well. And then the gnocchi fries. And then for the drinks, we'll have gobu malade, of course. And then I'll let you try one of our fandom drinks.
Harry Potter.
The Harry Potter.
Oh my god, I'm really...
So the concept is we have art on your drinks.
So you don't just come here to eat, but you come here to appreciate art and eat.
And then for the cakes, of course, we have the chocolate, the 16-layer one. The chocolate cake that we have, we call it the Choco Bonbon. We feel like it built the building. You know, we sold so much of it and it built the building. And then of course our cheesecake and chocolates.
Wow, I think it's going to be a very sweet through the head.
I'm very excited for this because I have a saying that Aegyo is not in the business of selling food. It's in the business of selling an experience of love and of magic, and I can't wait for you to experience that.
Oh, I can't wait for me to experience that as well. Thank you so much, Kezia. 我觉得很期待品尝他们这里的好多特别有趣的佳肴。那么接下来呢，请看我们别的节目。So don't go away because we have so much more here at Chinatown TV. All right.
Chinatown TV 非常电视台。Chinatown TV 非常电视台。
Gaganapin sa Oktubre sa Beijing ang ika-4 na plenary session ng 20th Communist Party of China CPC Central Committee. Pinangunahan ni General Secretary Xi Jinping ang pulong ng Political Bureau noong Hulyo 30 kung saan tinalakay ang kasalukuyang kalagayang pang-ekonomiya at ang paghahanda para sa 15th five-year plan ng bansa. Nagdaos ng symposium ang Communist Party of China kasama mga hindi kasaping personalidad upang kumuha ng mungkahi hinggil sa kasalukuyang kalagayang pang-ekonomiya ng bansa. Pinangunahan ni General Secretary Xi Jinping ang pulong noong Hulyo 23 kung saan binigyan diin niya ang pangangailangang panatilihing matatag ang trabaho, negosyo, merkado at kumpiyansa ng publiko. Pinuri ni 𝐼𝙚𝙗𝐾𝐄 ang pangunahing mambabatas ng China ang matatag na tiwala at win-win cooperation sa pagitan ng China at Hungary. Sa kanyang goodwill visit noong Hulyo 24 hanggang 28, nakipagpulong siya sa mga pangunahing lider ng Hungary upang palalimin pa ang ugnayang bilateral. Nanawagan si 𝐼𝙚𝙗 ng unang mambabatas ng China ng mas malawak na kooperasyon sa pagitan ng mga lehislatura sa buong mundo upang isulong ang multilateralism. Sa kanyang talumpati sa ika-6 na World Conference of Speakers of Parliament sa Geneva, binigyan diin niya ang layunin ng China na makabuo ng komunidad na may isang kinabukasan na para sa sangkatauhan. Nanawagan ng China ng konkretong aksyon mula sa pandaigdigang komunidad upang maisulong ang two-state solution sa pagitan ng Israel at Palestine. Sa isang UN conference sa New York noong Hulyo 29, binigyan diin ni Chinese Special Envoy Cai Jun ang kahalagahan ng tigil-putukan sa Gaza at ang pagsuporta ng China sa pagkakaroon ng isang malayang estadong Palestinian. Isang makapangyarihang pelikula tungkol sa Nanjing Massacre ang kasalukuyang namamayagpag sa Chinese box office, ang pelikulang Dead to Rights, na umani ng mahigit 1 bilyong yuan sa loob lamang ng 8 araw ay nagpapakita ng matinding sakripisyo ng mga sibilyan upang mailantad ang karahasang naganap noong pananakop ng Nanjing. Isang makulay at masayang kultural na palitan ang isinagawa sa Beijing noong Hulyo 26 kung saan ang mga batang Chino ang natutong maglaro ng mga tradisyonal na larong Pinoy gaya ng kadang-kadang, tumbang preso at patintero. Bahagi ito ng programang Ni Hao Philippines ng Philippine Embassy, layuning ipakilala ang kultura ng Pilipinas at itaguyod ang pagkakaibigan sa pagitan ng kabataang Pilipino at Chino. Welcome back. You're still watching Chinatown TV with me, your host, Isa Chong. China's rich cultural heritage spans over 5,000 years at sinasabing isa ito sa pinakamatanda at complex cultures in the world. With its unique customs, traditions, and practices, China has a lot to offer to those who are interested in exploring its fascinating culture. As we delve into the vast and diverse culture of China, ating kikilalanin ng kanilang mayamang kultura na nagpasalin-salin na sa mga henerasyon. From traditional Chinese medicine to the art of calligraphy, there is much to explore and learn about. Join us on our journey to uncover these fascinating aspects of Chinese culture and more as we delve deeper into the wonders of this ancient and diverse civilization. Sa paggunita ng ika-80 anibersaryo ng United Nations, kinilala ng United Nations Office for Project Services ang mahalagang papel ng China sa pagsusulong ng multilateralism at pandaigdigang kaunlaran. Ayon kay Jorge Moreira da Silva, malaking ambag ng China sa issue ng climate action at green transition at tiwala siya makakamit ng bansa ang carbon neutrality bago pa man ang target na taong 2060.
Undersecretary General Da Silva, welcome to Beijing, China. You visited China in multiple capacities as Minister for Portugal, as your capacity working for OECD, and now with UNOP. Maybe to start with, I would like to ask you to tell us a bit about this organization to our average viewers. UNOP, United Nations Office for Project Services.
Thank you, Mr. Guan. It's a pleasure to be with you in this occasion. So UNOPS is the operational branch of the UN. So we are just doing implementation. If you compare us with other UN agencies, some of them do a fantastic job on norms, on policies, on programming, on planning. That's not our task. Our task is implementing projects on the ground. We are the engineers. We implement projects on the ground.
You are engineer by training.
Infrastructure, procurement, project management. We build hospitals, schools, energy facilities, renewable energy, energy transmission lines, roads. We procure medicines. So we are really on the ground, particularly with the focus supporting those most in need, the difficult places.
But there are so many difficult places as we speak, and I would assume that these are distressing times. If you look at the conflict zones whereby UNOPS operate a lot, and the humanitarian relief that is needed for peacekeeping infrastructure and facilities, how do you look at the situation? How would you describe the challenges that your organization currently faces given all the geopolitical tensions and rivalries?
We are really living very difficult times. 25% of the people in the world live under conflict. We have not witnessed this proliferation of conflict since the World War II. So it's very impressive, the proliferation of conflicts and violence, and also very worried with the fact that some of these conflicts became forgotten. So it's compounded crises that are just having one crisis on the top of the other. There is a high concentration or correlation, almost correlation between conflict, fragility, and climate. In the exact same places where people are facing the impact of the floods or the droughts, the cyclones and the hurricanes, it's exactly the same places where people are under conflict and war. And therefore, we need to do more, much more, to support the people from a perspective that is prevention always, humanitarian as needed, and development wherever possible. We really need an approach, an ambitious approach on solidarity, bringing peace, bringing stability, but also fostering sustainability.
Undersecretary General, you raised a very important correlation, perhaps a few people have given a thought on, that is the correlation between susceptibility to climate-induced disasters and countries and regions already in war and conflict. Why, or what's behind such a correlation?
Well, I think that climate exacerbates fragility, and without resilience, countries cannot foster development. So the more resilient are the countries, the stronger they will be building development. So there is a correlation between climate and development. But then there is also a correlation between peace and development. It's impossible to foster development in a country during war and during conflict. So these three dimensions, that is not exactly a correlation, but is the simultaneous impacts on climate and on wars on the same countries, is particularly worrying because it's exacerbating the pain and the suffering. It's very unfair. It's very unfair also because most of these countries are not the countries that emit most. And therefore, we really need a call on solidarity. Those countries can't address conflict, fragility, climate impacts without global solidarity and without cooperation. And I would say it's in our interest, in everyone's interest, because we live in an interdependent world.
Chinatown TV 非中电视台 Chinatown TV 非中电视台
Imagine that China or Europe or the US becomes carbon neutral tomorrow. That's not the plan, but imagine that they will become carbon neutral tomorrow. It won't fix the problem because emissions in developing countries, in the global south, will continue growing if those countries are not supported. Why? Can you tell an African country or an African continent where you have 700 million people without access to electricity and 1 billion people without access to clean water, 2.4 billion people without access to sanitation, 1 billion people that goes to bed every day without a decent meal? Can you ask them to go green, same time that they are trying to fight poverty and to protect their people without additional financial resources? It's impossible. So I think that it's fundamental from ethical and moral reasons to support developing countries, but it's also in the interest of everyone because the climate crisis is a global crisis. It doesn't make much sense that we go totally green in one part of the world if the other part of the world will not be able to go towards this green and low carbon trajectory. And that's why it's in everyone's interest to strengthen solidarity and cooperation. We all remember what happened during the pandemic. We said nobody is safe until everyone is vaccinated. With climate, it's the same. We can be the greenest in one country, but if we don't support other countries on the green trajectory, we won't get a good response to climate change. So I really hope that everyone in the world understands that the climate crisis is a global crisis and we won't be safe unless everyone has had the chance to go towards this trajectory. And some countries, some developing countries, are lagging behind. And they are struggling with the multiple challenges, not just climate, but also war, conflicts, poverty. So I think it's really a fundamental moment, as you said. Multilateralism, it's living its defining moment, a breakdown or a breakthrough moment. Either we break through, embracing an ambitious agenda, more ambition, more commitment, more solidarity, more peace, or we risk further exacerbating inequalities and widening the gap between the North and the South.
We're marking the 80th anniversary of course, the founding of the United Nations that pretty much kept the world united, although there have been fragmentation. How do you look at the role of China, which has been a founding member of the United Nations 80 years ago? all the way through today, where it has been perceived as a leader of the global south and a contributor to global development?
Well, China has been playing a fundamental role in the international discussions. We have, in this conversation, already mentioned several elements from climate to development. I think that the commitment of China on multilateralism is key. The world needs more global coordination and reinforcement of multilateralism. So I think that this approach is fundamental, and obviously China plays a vital role. Many economists and historians and policymakers, so-called policy elites, commentators, they comment on the current world order. From the point of view as a developmental economist and engineer, of course as the chief of UNOP, I'm just wondering what would be your perspective on the future of a new world order. What should it look like? What kind of interests should it take into account going forward? I think that the new order is an order that should be framed by the UN values and principles. It still makes sense to pursue the UN values and principles, the UN Charter. I think that the new order, or this order, must keep always peace and the people at the center. But also the sustained development concept. It's probably the best way to approach this, the dilemmas we face. We are living in a poly-crisis context. We are really living in an era where the challenges have been compounding. That's why some scientists even call it a poly-crisis context. If you take a look of what has happened in the last 5 or 6 years, we see a refugee crisis, we saw a pandemic, we see climate conflicts, trade tensions, and therefore this is one crisis after the other. This is a moment where all governments, all states should provide a response where we will say the here and the now is not good enough. What I mean is the following: a response that is just about today and not thinking about the next generations. Policies that are not good enough to respond not only to the current problems, but also to the future problems, are not aligned with the needs. But also policies that are just about here and not here and there. I mean, policies that are just good enough for a specific country, but will not contribute to the global development, obviously will make more difficult to establish sustainable development globally. That's why I think that UN is still a fantastic concept, because the United Nations is the United Nations. It's not the Secretariat of the United Nations. This is a members-led organization. It's not a members-managed organization. The management is the Secretariat, it's Secretary General, and it's all of us leading agencies. But really, it's the political will of the countries that matter. They are the shareholders. It's a members-led organization. So what I really hope is in a moment where we are facing is essential crisis, war, conflicts, poverty, climate, I hope that all United Nations will recommit with this project of peace and development. Talking about cooperation with China, what do you hope to achieve by meeting with your Chinese counterparts and talking with relevant agencies and departments during your stay here in China this time around? Well, China has been a key protagonist of development. China has been supporting developing countries in many continents, including in Africa, partnering to support them on development. The Global Development Initiative, Belt and Road Initiative are just examples of commitment from China in partnering with developing countries. At the same time, UNOPS is partnering with developing countries, with donors, with multilateral development banks, and with other UN agencies, precisely to support developing countries on infrastructure. I think that there is an important contribution that we all must provide in support of the 2030 Agenda. Let's not forget the 2030 Agenda is not an environmental agenda. is a sustainable development agenda which is about economic, environmental and social dimensions, and we must address this in a moment we are off track. I think that it's important to speak the truth.
Chinatown TV 最终电视台 Chinatown TV 最终电视台
Today, in 2025, only 17% of these 17 SDGs that were signed in 2015, only 17% are on track. We are in reverse mode in 30%, and 2030 is tomorrow. So we need to rescue the SDGs. At the same time, the other key pillar of the 2030 agenda was the climate agreement, the Paris Agreement. And we all agreed, all nations agreed, to commit to reduce emissions at home and to partner with other nations to help them reducing emissions in ways that will put us in a pathway to limiting the increase of temperature to 1.5 degrees. But today, if you take all the commitments from member states, we are in a path not to 1.5, but to 2.6 to 2.9 degrees. And let's not forget that 1.5 degree is not a technocratic or a political target. It's a physical limit. If we don't succeed on the 1.5 degrees, we will have massive impacts on the ecosystems, on the people, on the planet. And finally, we are off track on solidarity. Because what the numbers tell us is that developing countries are missing every year $4 trillion to implement SDGs. So we agreed on the SDGs, but developing countries are missing $4 trillion every year. We'll get in Belém do Pará, by the end of the year, COP30 on climate. And it's the moment where the world must respond. Are we fixing our national targets and our solidarity to ensure that we'll reach the 1.5 degree? Or are we pursuing in a complacent manner towards 2.9 degrees? This is the moment of truth. We have to answer to these questions. So I hope that with the China commitment on development cooperation and on climate and on the green agenda, we can all pursue towards the highest ambition. I want to recall that China has made very significant efforts on renewable energy, on electrical mobility. This shows that it is possible to go green and to generate jobs and economy. China is doing this domestically, but is also doing this in partnership with developing countries.
You talk about the 1.5 degree being seriously off track. That is a very grave concern. And you also said 1.5 degree is a physical limit. I was struck by that statement. Can you elaborate on why you said that?
If we go towards 2.9 degrees rather than 1.5, we will get 1.3 billion people in the world that will live in places that became deserts or under significant water stress. We'll have massive destruction of ice sheets. We'll have massive destruction of the stability of the climate. We'll have proliferation of hurricanes and cyclones. So the 1.5 degree, I insist, is a physical limit. If we cross that limit, we'll still be in this planet, but the planet will be different in terms of well-being, in terms of quality of life, in terms of health, but we can still fix it. In the last decade, investment on renewable energy has doubled. Solar and wind is now the cheapest energy in the world. Cheapest, solar and wind. Electrical mobility have been doubling or tripling every year, namely here in China, but also in Europe, also in the US. In China, it has been tripling, so going even further. It shows that the renewable energy or the electrical mobility is no longer a green agenda. It makes sense from an economic point of view. The number of jobs that can be created are massive through the green energy. The International Energy Agency says that with the energy efforts to reach neutrality by 2050, we will get a significant increase in jobs even by 2030. We will get 4 times more jobs on renewable energy. So I think that this is why I'm quite optimistic. I'm optimistic regarding the technology. I'm optimistic regarding the economics. I'm only worried with 2 dimensions: speed and solidarity. Our point is not just about the path, it's about the pace. Even when we are going the right direction, are we going fast enough? I don't think so.
Chinese President Xi Jinping made a priority for China to go green, and he launched this grain campaign ever since he took the leadership of China more than 10 years ago. He famously said, "Green mountains and clear waters are mountains of gold and silver." That is, of course, the translation. It's a metaphor of saying that a good ecology, good environment are invaluable. And since then, China really launched this nationwide campaign to go green, producing the largest number of lithium battery electric vehicles. Can I get a comment from you on China's, of course, policy directive, also ambition, also a grassroots support of going green?
Well, I'd like to praise President Xi for his vision and for his commitment on climate and on development, because indeed what China has succeeded in the green economy with the promotion of renewable energy and electrical mobility has been very important for the country, but also broadly, but also the commitment on multilateralism and on the 2030 agenda and on the climate agenda. I'm totally convinced that China will be able to reach neutrality well before 2060, because all the efforts that you have been making and the results that you have been reaching on renewable energy and on sustainability gives us clear signals, and that will be very important for the world.
President Xi Jinping of China proposed the Belt and Road Initiative in September 2013. How do you see the synergy, the alignment of China's Belt and Road Initiative proposed by President Xi and the projects, the principles of your organization, UNOPS, at the United Nations?
I think that the fact that the Belt and Road Initiative is focused on infrastructure is important. I think that the fact that those initiatives are being developed, namely the Belt and Road Initiative, which is having a huge impact in partnership with developing countries, is important, particularly because the focus is infrastructure. And I'm going to share with you 2 numbers that shows how this can be important, because we are an agency that is very committed to infrastructure, so we know what we are talking about. 92% of the Sustainable Development Goals depend on infrastructure, which means that if we don't get the right infrastructure on water, sanitation, energy, transportation, we will not succeed on the 2030 agenda. So the infrastructure is key, is a sine qua non condition. The same on climate. 82% of today's greenhouse gas emissions are related with infrastructure. So putting infrastructure at the center of development makes sense. I know that I can say this because the UNOPS is about infrastructure, procurement and infrastructure, but I would say that the numbers show that it's quite relevant for everyone. So the Belt and Road Initiative is focused on infrastructure, and that's why I think that the partnership between an agency like UNOPS, that is an agency of engineers on the ground doing infrastructure, and the partnership between China and developing countries on infrastructure is a fruitful partnership that I'm sure that will be pursued even further in the future.
Mr. Jorge da Silva, thank you so much for your time and your insights.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wen.
Chinatown TV 非中电视台 Chinatown TV 非中电视台
You're still watching Chinatown TV. I'm your host, Candice Dan, and here with me is again Colleen. Hello. Annyeong. Finally, Colleen, you know, whatever I see here, these are all your idea, right?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, come on, it's great. like as you can see, there's like the fried enoki mushroom, right? The enoki fries, that's what you call it. Pink burger, and then this one. So tell me more about, you know, your ideas.
Yeah, so actually the cafe is pure white because we feel like it's a blank canvas, and then the art is the food. So that's why, as you can see, it's the most colorful flat lay of food that you ever see. So we like doing that. We like making food art.
Okay.
So should we start tasting?
Yeah.
I was supposed to call it the enoki bouquet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like a bouquet.
But I'm really obsessed with mushrooms because they have more protein.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a healthier option.
Okay, yes,
So
definitely. Okay.
And then well. Then next, well, we could have the pink burger.
Okay.
So the pink burger, for me, it's more of the flavors of soul.
This is the Blackpink inspired. So if you're loyal fans of Blackpink, you gotta order this one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a mouthful.
This one is 𝐷𝙚𝙩𝙨. This is the actual 𝐷𝙚𝙩 that they have in Korea. So when we found out what it was, so we ate it without knowing what it was. So it's actually like a traditional lunchbox set in Korea.
Oh my
You
god.
mix it, but you have to rigorously
Again.
shake
Can I try it?
Yeah. Please hold it tightly.
Okay. Do I have to go flip it?
Yeah, you can do whatever you
Oh, I'm
want.
so scared.
It's okay. You had the balance of thickness of the sauce so it doesn't spill out. And then, you actually did well!
Really?
Oh my god, look at that! Candles!
Galing!
This is the 𝐾𝐿 latte and it's served in the 𝐾𝐿 mug because it looks like a sweet potato.
Oh, okay. Wow. It warms my soul. Oh my goodness, it's very good.
So this one is called the espresso patronum. You know when there's dementors for Harry Potter and then they say a spell, espresso patronum,
Oh, okay,
and then the dementors is cast away. That's what you're going to do.
Oh,
right
okay.
now. So you turn it on like this, and then you light up the wool. Like,
Alright.
Siguro one on both sides. And then you say espresso patronum.
Espresso patronum, alright. Is it on?
Yeah.
Espresso patronum. Wow.
There.
Whoa.
And then this would represent the dementors being cast away. See? There. It's fun, right?
It's fun.
So it goes into the theme that adults are just making their inner child happy.
Yes.
Aegyo.
Espresso patronum.
So this is a yuzu butterfly tea.
Okay.
So the purple part is the butterfly tea. So we steep it for an hour because we like the tea taste to shine through. And the bottom part is yuzu or orange blossom. Going to the exciting parts, the one Aegyo Cakes, we usually have very complicated designs designed by our clients. So we want to give the cafe goers in Aegyo Cafe a glimpse of what they could get in Aegyo Cafe. So this one, this is a Harry Potter edition actually. So he's a professor.
You're right. There is that wine undertone.
So like for chocolate lovers, it's also an experience.
It's so good that I have to take another bite. Go all the way
Thank
down.
you. So this is the cake that I call Built the Building, the Choco Bonbon. It's actually named after my dog. My dog's Bonbon, right? You remember? This is what I call our biggest R&D success. Because I am very proud of this recipe because you're gonna know when you taste it. Okay. So the top part is whipped cream just to balance the richness. And the cheesecakes that we have are very tart, very strong. So Aegyo likes punching flavors.
Okay.
So
It's like I never tasted like
It's like, wow. It feels like you just bit into cloud. I know cloud is just air or like, just like, what do you hold that? Like moist water. But this is like so, it's like, it's barely there. Like, when I bite into it, I don't even have to like, just one bite. Then it all melts in your mouth. It's just a fair, it's like, how do you say it? It's like you just aired it. Like airbrushed. It's like you just airbrushed cheesecake.
But the flavors are like
The flavor is strong. Flavor is strong. It's all there. You know, the creaminess of cheese, like just like you said, like tanginess. It's all there. It's really just like biting into cloud.
Thank you.
Wow, oh my God, this is like so cool.
So this is actually our bestseller now. So it used to be the Choco Bonbon, but here in the cafe, this sells like crazy. Like,
This is very good.
thank you. This is gonna be your last Aegyo bite.
Okay. So what kind of chocolate is this?
It's the same as the Malagos one, but this one is an actual chocolate. So it's kind of like Roy's or like the Nama chocolate in Japan.
I love it. It's very dense. It's so satisfying.
So good, like it coats your soul in chocolate goodness. I hope you would have the time to visit us here at Aegyo Cafe. We're just here a little bit of Seoul, here right in the heart of the Metro Manila in Quezon City. We're located in Scout Ralios, very near to Masmerito area. You can find us in @Aegyo Cakes or @Aegyo Cafe _ in Instagram and of course in TikTok and Facebook. And we'd love to serve love for you here and your family.
Language connects us, and in this cultural celebration, it brought us one step closer to our roots. Held last July 30, 2025 at the Quezon City Public Library, the Let's Learn Hokkien hybrid session welcomed participants both on-site and online to explore one of the most spoken Chinese dialects in the Philippines. The event, organized in partnership with the Komisyon Wikang Filipino, served not just as a language class, but a bridge between generations and cultures. Let us take a look back at some of the highlights from this meaningful learning experience. 我们一起来看一看。
Afternoon po, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our program, the Hokkien Hybrid Class.
Chinatown TV 最终电视台。
有利东方旅游有限公司 Uniorient Travel Incorporated。
Chinatown TV 最终电视台。
The Philippine Fujian General Youth Business Association Incorporated held a celebration of its 8th founding anniversary and 8th to 9th officers induction ceremony, as well as the 6th founding anniversary and 7th to 8th officers induction ceremony of the International Youth Business Silk Exchange General Association. 菲律宾福建青年联合总商会举行庆祝成立8周年暨第9连10届10元国际华侨华人青商丝路交流总商会成立6周年暨第7连8届职员就职典礼。
2025年8月1号晚，菲律宾福建青年联合总商会 庆祝成立8周年暨第9连10届职员波暨华侨华人经商丝路交流总商会成立6周年暨第7连8届职员就职典礼，驾东海皇宫酒家隆重举行。华社友好团体代表、嘉宾等应邀出席典礼仪式，场面盛大庄严，气氛热烈非凡。典礼在祥狮献瑞中拉开了序幕。随后，海内外各庆贺团嘉宾依序入场。会长洪聪晓担任大会主席并致辞，他回顾了两会的发展历程，表示两会始终致力推动中华文化交流，服务侨社，拓展商机，促进中非友谊。相信在新一届3位联席会长的领导下，在全体执会员的共同努力下，必将承前启后，迈向新征程，谱写新篇章。会长永远名誉会长吴永坚担任监事员，见证异性移交并训诲。吴永坚勉励新届职员铭记创会宗旨，肩负使命，继续前行。新届联席会长侯明志代表致辞，他表示，3位联席会长将肩负传承责任，培育创新精神，秉持以人为本、和谐共荣的理念，推动共同价值观。他表示，一定会尽力为两会服务，与时并进来应对环境的局势所带来的挑战和考验，为非华社会做出更多的贡献。非华各界联合会名誉主席、两会指导员蔡友宁担任主讲人，他高度肯定两会在青年培育、商务合作及社会服务方面的积极贡献，并勉励新任职员持续发挥侨界桥梁作用，为中非合作注入新动能。菲律宾参议员艾梅马克斯亲临现场发表诚挚致辞。福建省归国华侨联合会主席陈世海也透过视频送上祝福。泉州市归国侨联联合会副主席魏腾雄代表各庆贺团致辞。非华商联总会理事长林荣辉、非华各界联合会主席赵启平、菲律宾福建总商会会长蒋小伟也先后致辞。期间致赠感谢状于大会主席洪聪晓、监事员吴永坚、主讲人蔡友宁，然后捐献非华商联总会华生流失基金、非华各界联合会福利金。联席会长蔡清海介绍主讲人，联席会长洪天亮致谢词，非中电视台主持人陈静瑜担任节目主持人，并介绍主宾席贵宾。典礼仪式之后，进行了聚餐、祝酒以及抽奖活动。非中新闻台综合报道。
The Federation of Electrical and Electronic Suppliers and Manufacturers of the Philippines and the PESA Foundation Incorporated held the 35th joint induction of officers, directors, and trustees. 菲律宾电气商联总会、电总发展基金会联合举行第35届职员就职典礼。
2025年8月2号中午，菲律宾电气商联总会与电总发展基金会假作梨刹公园酒店大宴会厅联合举行第35届理事会、董事会职员就职典礼，现场嘉宾云集，气氛庄严热烈。 各界友好代表共聚一堂，共襄盛举。名誉理事长庄觉华担任大会主席并致辞，他感谢前辈与同仁们的大力支持，使其得以顺利完成任内工作。他盛赞新任理事长郭珠汉为值得信赖的年轻领袖，期盼在他的领导下，店总会务能够蒸蒸日上，希望大家共同谱写店总新的篇章，迎接更加辉煌的明天。基金会名誉董事长郭峥嵘亦发表热情洋溢的讲话，他希望菲律宾电器商联总会与店总发展基金会在新届领导们的带领下，会务能够更上一层楼。菲华商联总会执行副理事长黄其钊担任监事员，见证会中移交并训诲。新届理事长郭珠汉为新会员们宣誓监事。新任理事长郭珠汉在就职演说中表示，将以3大方向推动会务发展，以创新与跨境合作推进安全设计与可持续发展，提升会员参与，转化集体愿景为实际行动，以及推动青年参与与世代传承，确保组织韧性与永续。他鼓励年轻人要积极投入活动，为未来社会贡献心力。基金会新任董事长吴彼得回顾店总自1948年创立至今的历史使命，强调组织坚守诚信、专业与社会责任。他呼吁各级职员2年内各推荐2名新会员，以壮大组织基础。他同时勉励大家一人一善，终能成潮，呼吁全体以服务为本，发挥华人价值与企业精神。菲律宾综合电气工程师学会会长洛佩兹应担任主讲人，他高度肯定了店总的贡献与持续推动交流合作的努力。期间颁赠感谢盾牌于黄其钊担任监事员，主讲人洛佩兹。店总宿务分会理事长 𝐿𝐼𝐻𝐻致辞，稽核赊日，顺带领祈祷。副理事长黄共卫介绍主宾席宾主，副理事长黄正汉介绍监事员，副理事长林山君介绍主讲人，副理事长董欣娜致谢词，张春雨担任大会司仪。典礼仪式之后，进行了聚餐、祝酒、抽奖以及娱性节目表演。非中新闻台综合报道。
The Philippine Tongsang Association Incorporated held a celebration of its 27th founding anniversary and 12th officials induction ceremony. 菲律宾晋江东山同乡会举行庆祝成立27周年及第12届职员就职典礼。
2025年8月3号晚，菲律宾晋江东山同乡会甲世纪海鲜酒家隆重举行庆祝成立27周年暨第12届职员就职典礼，华社友好团体代表、嘉宾等应邀出席典礼仪式。名誉理事长林文辉担任大会主席并致辞。他衷心感谢全体同仁3年来对他的大力支持，使其得以顺利完成任务。相信在新届理事长林志向的领导下，该会的会务发展一定会更上一层楼。希望大家共同为菲律宾晋江东山同乡会未来的发展做出贡献。世界林氏宗亲总会理事长、菲律宾西河林氏宗亲总会理事长林国端担任监事员，见证异性移交并训诲。新届理事长林志向在致辞时表示， 自己非常荣幸受到大家的信任和被推选为新届理事长。这不只是一项荣誉，更是一份责任与重担。一定会以各位前辈为榜样，团结全体同仁，积极拓展会务，尽最大的努力，把乡会的各项工作做好，共同谱写待会更加辉煌灿烂的篇章。随后，创会会长、永远名誉理事长林文书致辞加冕。菲律宾晋江同乡总会理事长𝐼𝙚𝙩担任主讲人，菲律宾六兰堂宗亲总会副理事长𝐼𝙚𝙯，菲律宾晋江深户镇同乡联合总会暨商会会长𝘼𝙚珍，中共晋江市深户镇人民政府代表、司法所所长黄辉，深户镇归国华侨联合会副主席王丽蓉。世界林氏始祖监工文化促进会监工南庙常务副会长兼决策委员林荣坚，晋江市深户镇东山村两委会书记林宜转，旅港福建东山同乡会会长林松柏。期间颁赠感谢盾牌于大会主席林文辉、监事员林国端、主讲人𝐼𝙚𝙩以及捐献教育基金和福利基金者。随后，新届理事长林志向个人捐献福利金于多个团体。副理事长林建庭介绍主讲人，执行副理事长林自立致谢词，林兼顾乡贤担任司仪。典礼仪式之后，进行了聚餐、祝酒以及抽奖等活动。非中新闻台综合报道。
I've just had the most splendid time here at Aegyo Cafe. As you can see, all their drinks, their dishes are just so unique and very special. And not to mention this very cool aesthetic vibe here at Aegyo Cafe. Once again, I'm your host, Candice Tan. Thank you so much for watching Chinatown TV, and we hope to see you next week for more exciting content. My name is Candice Tan. 您现在收看的是非中电视台，我们下个星期再见。